Welcome everybody, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we're gonna learn more 3 Arabic letters. We call them refusal letters. In Arabic we have 6 refusal letters. Let's see what is a refusal letter. Let's learn the first one and we will understand what is a refusal letter. So the first one, its sound is a, like letter A in English. So again, the sound is a. How we write it? We write it like this. And then we add here Hamza. We call it Hamza. And then we add this mark on the top, Fatha. We learned it in the previous classes. Now the sound is a. Now let's write a word. A. Let's see a in the beginning of the word. A in the beginning of the word. A in the middle of the word. A. Let's see a in the end of the word. Let's read together. A. Okay, as you see, they are not connected. That's why we call it a refusal letter. Refusal letters, they don't get connected from the left side. So that's why this one is not connected to this one, because this is the left side here, and this one is not connected to this one. This letter has different shape when it is in the middle or in the end of the word. Let's see it. Let's write another word. I'm gonna write now se. Do you remember? We have studied this letter before. Se, the one that has the sound of letter S. Se. Okay, now we have a. So now we have a in the middle of the word, but it has a different shape. Why? Because it is connected to the previous one. So now we know that refusal letters can get connected from the right side. Okay, se. And now let's put se again. Se. Okay, now let's write another one. Let's write se. How it will be? Se. I will write it here. Se in the beginning. Se in the middle. And finally we have a in the end. Se. So this is another shape of a in the end of the word. Now it is connected to the previous one from the right side, as you see here. So a in the beginning of the word has this shape. This is the only shape of a in the beginning of the word. A in the middle of the word, it can be like this or like this. A in the end of the word, it can be like this or like this. Okay, so let's add here fatha as well. So again, a in the beginning of the word, it's always like this. A in the middle of the word, it can be like this as here, or like this as here, when the previous letter is a normal letter. Here, when the previous letter is a refusal letter. A in the end of the word, it can be like this, when the previous letter is a refusal letter. Or like this, when the previous letter is a normal letter. Okay? So that's it. Let's read together. A. Se. Se. Okay, let's learn another letter. Now we have this letter. The one sounds like D. It is this one. And when I add fatha, da. Don't forget, we have studied that before. This mark on the top sounds like A. De. Okay? Let's write now da da da. Da da da. Super easy. So da in the beginning of the word is like this. Da in the middle of the word is like this. So now we know that da is a refusal letter as well because it's not connected to the previous one. So what does it mean? It means da can get connected just from the right side when the previous letter is not a refusal letter, and it does not get connected from the left side. Why? Now I'm gonna add da in the end of the word. So let's read together. Da, da da, da da da, da da da. Okay, let's see the other shapes of da. So I'm gonna write now se in the beginning, se. And then let's write da in the middle of the word. Se da. Se da, se da, se da, se. Se da, se. So this is the shape of da in the middle of the word when the previous letter is not a refusal letter. Let's write another word, which is se se da. Se. Se, de. So this is the shape of da in the end of the word when the previous letter is not a refusal letter. So, se, de. Okay, so the shapes of da now in the beginning of the word, it is always like this. Always. Da. As you see here, da. Okay, the shape of da in the middle of the word can be like this, da, like here, or like this when the previous letter is not a refusal letter. Da. The shape of da in the end of the word can be like this, da, like here, or like this, da, when the previous letter is not a refusal letter. Da da da, se da se, se da. Now let's learn another one. I'm gonna keep everything here. I'm not gonna erase anything. Just I will remove this here. And now let's add just a dot here on the top of this letter here. And then I will add the fatha again. Now this dot changed the sound of the letter. Now we have the. It sounds exactly like this. You have to touch your upper teeth with your tongue to pronounce it. The. Okay, so let's change everything here. I'm gonna add just the dots to change the sound of everything here. The dot has to be on the top of the letter. So now let's read the, se, As you see, this is the in the beginning of the word, in the middle of the word, in the end of the word. Okay, so it is a refusal letter as well. This is the shape of the in the middle of the word when the previous letter is not a refusal letter, it's a normal letter. And here it is in the shape when the previous letter is a refusal letter. The same thing here. This is the shape of the in the end of the word when the previous letter is a refusal letter. And this is the shape of the in the end of the word when the previous letter is a normal letter. Don't get confused. Here are all the shapes of the. In the beginning, it's always like this. In the middle, it can be like this or like this, depend on the previous letter. In the end, it can be like this or like this, depend on the previous letter. Okay? So guys, that's for today, and see you in another video. Thank you very much. I'm waiting for your questions in your comments. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.